Hey guys, this is Oliver. I wanted to share my thoughts behind the interview that I had with Joe Vitale. If you didn't watch the video, the interview, I put the link below. But I learned so many things from Joe Vitale. And I think I learned the secret of success. Seriously. I believe that the secret of success is very simple. If you watch this interview, first of all, I want you to pay attention. Hopefully you can hear me. I want you to pay attention and see, can you actually find the secret? Are you noticing something? Like, why do you believe Joe Vitale became so successful? He wrote over 90 books, 15 music CDs, and every time starting from scratch. Now he signed up to an MMA class. He was in over 20 movies and creates his own movie now. The point is, like, what is the secret of his success? Why did he become so wildly successful? And I mean, he just didn't do stuff. Like, the 90 books were not just leading to nothing. He's a multimillionaire. He's doing super well. He has everything that he needs and wants. I mean, he has supercars. He has, like, he bought a guitar. He talks about this in the interview for 35,000. Who can do that? You know, not many people are able to do that. But anyways, it's also like the whole abundance that he created with that, right? So his actions actually brought him to abundance and wealth, right? So what is the secret? I'll share my thoughts with you because it made click. I already kind of knew that before, but I believe in our culture right now, like with social media and the information overload, we start to believe that there is some weird secret out there, and if we would just get to know the secret, everything is going to change for us. So we are on the search for the secret, right? We are seeking the secret, and we never live fully because we believe we don't have yet all the answers. I think that's one of the things that is holding back a lot of people, especially in the manifestation space, but not only. I also lead a group of artists, and the same mindset. It's like, hey, you know, first of all, things like my past is defining me now and my future. Because of my past, I cannot do these things. And then also, like, you are lucky, right? Successful people, they are different, special, lucky. They had some unique talents. They had it easy. And, you know, I really, like she said, luckily you, Oliver, you bypassed rejection, past traumas, all these things. And I'm like, whoa, I had a freaking hard life. And I actually want to read you that quickly. So here it is. I also inserted the comment from this person without mentioning a name, because I think it's important to so you have the context. So she said, she's an artist, and she said, I think you also have to consider past traumas of art degrees on young sensitive artists who had tutors of influence devalue and degrade something very personal to their creative soul. Okay? And then luckily for you, Oliver, you bypassed all that, so you aren't carrying around rejections and limiting beliefs that many artists have. Okay, yeah. So this is literally, we get to this, but this is like luckily. She doesn't know anything about me. She doesn't know my story, and she's assuming that I had it easy, that I was lucky. It's also very clear that the average artist does not have the same mindset as a business entrepreneur, so it's difficult to keep showing up. Okay, yeah. We struggle because we are required to be a version of ourselves that doesn't naturally sit at our core. It's impossible, but it's it's not impossible, but emotionally, mentally very challenging, especially when you're wounded and scarred from the past. So let's analyze this quickly, because I think it's extremely powerful and it really fits into the interview with Joe Vitale. First of all, so she believes that the traumas and the, you know, being sensitive, like, by the way, guys, my mom always said, I'm so sensitive, I'm such a sensitive soul. And on one point I got really angry at that, because, like, first of all, why is she saying that? Why does she believe yeah, maybe I have a sensitive part, but I also have a strong, powerful part of myself that can go through challenges and doesn't cry because something doesn't go my way, or gives up because something doesn't go my way. My mother created, like, she was part of me, creating a version of me that was very sensitive and couldn't do anything. So on one point I just, like, decided I am not sensitive. I'm deciding who I am, right? So this person claims to be a sensitive artist, and she doesn't say it in a positive way, of course, but she's like, I'm so sensitive, you know, my art and everything got devalued, which was so personal to my soul. So what do you see here? You see Obviously, complete victim mindset, right? But then it goes further, then it's assuming, and that's what we do often. We assume that other people had it easy. As I said, they had it easy, they didn't have past trauma, maybe they got money from their parents, maybe they were just more talented, they had the right genes, blah, blah, blah. All excuses. By the way, don't take this so seriously. If you're thinking things like this, don't take it personally, because it's your mind. It's not you. You picked up these thoughts and beliefs somewhere. It has nothing to do with you and your potential. It's all about how your mind is programmed right now. And I see so many people struggle with getting feedback and changing because they take their current personality so personal. You need to detach from who you are right now. But we will get into that, right? Because it's all about becoming a new version. If you want to create a new life, a better life, you have to become literally a new person. So you cannot take your current personality so serious and protect it for all costs, because that's what we do. Whenever we have some feedback around our current character, what we do currently, our current personality, we protect it with everything we can. And it's actually your ego that's protecting that current reality and current personality, right? So, yeah. So when I give kind of like harsh feedback here, but I think it's so needed. And so don't take it personally. Have some distance between who you are right now and who you want to be, because like you can change at any time. You can become anyone that you want. You don't need to be a certain way. You don't need to, if you feel sensitive right now, if you're in the victim mode right now, you don't need to be there. Acknowledge that you are in there, and then get inspired by what I'm saying, and just let it resonate, and decide that you are going to be a different person, which is strong, confident, self-assured, and all these things. Yeah, that's what I did, and it works. So it's also very clear that yeah, okay. So then this part was about funny again, like kind of victim mindset, right? It's like we struggle because we are required. Nobody requires anything from you. Nobody puts a gun on your head and says you need to now learn business and sales. And this person has the honor, the privilege to be able to think about selling art and making a living from that. Do you think people in Africa will even spend a second on a thought like this? You know what I mean? But then she says we struggle because we are required to learn that, and it doesn't sit naturally at our core. I mean, like my business partner, she got an email from another artist saying like, I want to sell art, but I don't want to have a website, I don't want to have social media, I don't want to have anything. I don't want to have galleries. And then she said, okay, then the only way is to go out and talk to every person that you meet. Go out, be extrovert and talk to people, because that's how you create opportunities, right? You make money from people. They exchange their money with what you have. If you don't talk to anyone, if you don't share with anyone what you're doing, nobody knows that they can even exchange their money with what you have, right? And then the other problem is, once they talk with some people and they offer what they have, they feel rejected when someone says no, or 3 people say no. But isn't this like extremely egotistical to think that every single person needs to exchange their hard-earned money with what you have? It's not all about you. It's about like actually finding the right person that wants what you have and says, hey, I would love to exchange my money with what you have here, because what you have here is for me personally more valuable than the money. Bam, exchange, right? So I see a lot of like, it's a big ego. People created a big ego around this personality of I'm so poor, victim, and it's all about me and me. It's actually ego, right? It's like people are so focused on themselves. Like especially if you're in sales and business, it's all about the other person. It's about giving value to these other people that are interested in what you have to offer, right? It's not about you anymore. And that's what artists are struggling. Not just artists, like many people, but artists a lot. Creative people, let's say it like this, people that want to do what they love, they struggle with this a lot because they just keep focusing on themselves. It's all about me, what I feel, what I want, what I love. It's me, and they don't even spend a minute thinking about their ideal customers, making their lives better and impacting them. And that's what I changed, and that's how I became successful. I created a compelling version that was not just about the business, it was overall a life that I truly wanted to live, but then also about what's the impact that I'm creating as an artist in the world? Like what am I giving back? What do I give to people? Right? And one of the biggest things for me was, and also how I could justify my high prices, was by saying like, look, my art will be worth 10 times as much in the future. And I started to believe that, I started embodying that, I started saying that. And I even had people saying that to me without me even mentioning that. They said like, I know your art will be worth way more in the future, so that's why I'm gonna buy it now for super high prices already. That's what the lady said that bought the painting for 24,000. She said, I know your art will be worth more than that, so that's why I'm gonna buy it now. So, and I had this vision, I created this vision, so I didn't even need to say it anymore because people felt it, right? But yeah, I created a vision also about like, how can I justify these prices? By saying like, first of all, I put all my heart into it. I'm quitting my job, I'm dedicating myself for my art. I'm giving people meaning, connection. I connect to them on calls, and my art will be worth 10 times as much in the future. I created this vision, I made it exciting, and started believing it, and magic happened. Let's go back into that. So that's my story, right? After all of this, just to show her like, hey, look, you assume a lot here, and that's completely, all of this is mindset issues. But I go into everything, also like the struggle of, you know, having this business and sales mindset and skills that, yeah, many artists do struggle with. I'm also going into that. So I grew up being rejected my whole life from my mom, my father, and everyone I love. I got painful rejections about my art. People telling me their kid's grandma and even like dogs can paint better than me. Okay? Because of that, I was extremely shy. But did that stop me? At my job, I cried because my boss told me to call some customers to give them some basic information. I literally cried when she told me I should call some of her customers. I cried, I seriously cried because of a phone call. I didn't even need to sell, I just needed to call them and give them some information about the program. I'm not any different than any artist in here. You can change that to anything. I'm not different than anyone, right? I am not different. I just did the hard work. I went out of my comfort zone and faced my fear. And not just the hard work on my business, but also on my traumas. I did countless forgiveness meditations, cried a ton of tears, invested money into healing my traumas, working with experts in that field and much more. And I started at the age of 18. I'm going to be 30 this year. And 1st of April, I'm going to be 30. So 12 years of going through this pain, these traumas, healing and seeing only very small progress. So for many years I did so much work on myself and I saw almost no progress, but I kept having the hope and the belief. I wanted to die several times because my father was never there for me. My mom had alcohol problems and I had horrible experiences with her because of that, which I don't want to get into, but I wanted to die as a kid already. I told my mom I want to die. At several moments in my life where I just didn't see any purpose to be alive because my life was literally like hell, right? It wasn't pleasant at all. From the age of only 8 years old, I was sent to a boarding school completely against my will, which was one of my worst experiences, right? And created a lot of trauma because they actually told me and my brother that we can just have a look and decide if we want to go. It was a lie. They already decided that we will stay there. They just let us believe the lie that we just have a look and we can decide. We had no choice. They just put us there. It was horrible. I cried literally every weekend. Not every weekend, every day in the beginning, and then every single weekend. So I even took drugs at the age of 19 to 21. That was roughly the age where I did that. Because I wanted to numb the pain. I don't tell this story much, but I wanted to show her that what she assumes is completely wrong. You don't know people's struggles, right? Don't assume that they had it easy or they're more talented than you or special or different. In 2017, I failed as a photographer. I went into that, made no money, couldn't pay my bills, and had no money for food, and slept on the floor in an empty apartment for several months on the cold floor. I was sleeping on the floor. Literally had no money for food. I had the only thing that was left, I think, was some bread and wine. I was eating this dry bread and dunking it into wine so it has a little bit of taste. My success has nothing to do with luck or having had it easy. If you want to learn, so that's first about me, right? Assuming that other people are lucky or they surpass the trauma, they blah, blah, blah. You're just assuming. Don't assume stuff. 99% of all successful people had it hard. They went through the pain. But the thing is, if you go through it, you arrive at the other side. You're going to be a completely new person. Every single person can change and can become a different person that is literally like healed from your traumas and past. Your past doesn't need to hold you back. It doesn't need to define your future. And now I'm going into the learning about business and sales, right? Because I guess a lot of people have that, not just artists, also other people that want to quit their job and they are like, I want to do my own thing. I want to make money from something I love. So if you want to learn a new language, what do? You show up and learn every single day. You start from the beginning. You are a student and you don't know anything about the language yet. But if you really want to learn it, you will. Is it going to be easy? Probably not. Will you already be a master of that language within a few months? Probably not. Will it take time? Yes. Will it require effort? Yes. Will you sometimes like to skip practicing it? Yes. Yet if you just keep going, you'll be able to speak the language. If you practice painting for a long time, you will be good at it. But what about business and selling art? You want to start selling and making a living from your art, but then you immediately expect to be good at it and having it super easy. Business and selling art is like everything else. You have to practice it. You have to show up every day, and you absolutely will be bad at it in the beginning. The question is, do you really want it? Because if you do, you will go through the struggles and pain, which is all completely normal in the beginning, and it will fade away. You will get better at it. The more you do it, the easier it gets. So many people just don't want to go through that initial phase of being a student and knowing nothing about it. Like Joe Vitale signed up to MMA at 71. Do you think he's going to be there and it's going to be easy? Do you think he will feel super comfortable? I mean, he's 71. Everybody else is way younger and probably in much better shape, and he still is putting his foot into the MMA class and is practicing it, right? And he will feel probably very out of place, uncomfortable and weird in there for a while. But if he sticks with it, he will arrive at the other side. And at one point, it's second nature. So yeah, I would wish there's a magic pill to make it all easy and effortless, and without needing to go through the initial phase of struggles. But let's be honest, we all know that there is no such thing, even if we wish there is. I personally never found it. I went through it the hard way. But I believed in myself and my dreams, even if it seemed impossible or super far away at times. I never ever let my past define my future. That's why I talk so much about compelling vision. It's not about your past or who you are right now. It's about who do you want to be. And please, everyone reading this, stop comparing yourself to others and assuming they had it easy or are different, special, better, more unique, more talented, etc. This is just your mind talking you out of doing the work. And that's an important thing to say, talking you out of doing the work. What's the work? Could be for everyone different. For the artist, could be facing the fears of talking to people so they can actually sell their art. Facing your traumas and your pain and your struggles. And not like hiding yourself behind the YouTube screen and watching one video after the next. Or it could even be just this belief of that you need this secret that's somewhere out there to change your whole life, right? And if you don't, as long as you don't find this secret that must be out there, which is kind of like the magic pill, you cannot really do anything about your life. You cannot really change. You're not ready to do the vision. You're not ready to go deeper into the vision. You're not, like all these excuses. It's literally assuming that other people had it easier or they're better, or you had it so hard because of your past. This kind of mindset is holding you back, because it doesn't matter where you start. You just need to start where you're at and just take one step at a time to move forward. That's literally it. There is no fast track. There is no magic pill. There is nothing except showing up every single day. And yes, there are tools that help you to go through it, like the vision. And the interview with Joe Vitale, he talks also about people that struggle financially, right? What he would do. And in the end of the day, you have to go through it, right? There is no magic pills. There are ways to get you there, get you through that faster and easier, right? So, exactly, you need to spend that time working on your self-concept and your vision and focus all your attention on who you want to become, instead of analyzing other people and thinking why they had it so easy and why they are different, right? Focus all your attention on who you want to become, and then actually showing up like this. And yes, if you have traumas, just like I had, work on it, heal it, give it the attention it needs, because nobody is going to heal it for you. That's the only way to do it. There's literally no way around it. That's why, I can almost not read it anymore because it's so bright here. That's why again and again, before I even started, yeah, exactly. So that's why again and again, before I even start something, I'll make sure that I'm committed, that I'm 100% sure that this is what I really want. Because I know everything we want will require effort, practice, and usually more time than we think. And a side note, Business is one of the things that bring up more traumas and insecurities than anything else. There was nothing else that brought up so many fears, traumas and insecurities for me than business and sales. But the vision guided me. I knew what I wanted, and so it made it all worth facing these fears. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. Accept your starting point. Stop comparing yourself. Become humble enough to be a student and allow yourself to be bad at it in the beginning. Don't try to be perfect, because it's not going to happen. Become comfortable with failing and making mistakes. It doesn't diminish your self-worth or value. That's another thing. So many people think that if you make a mistake, if you're not perfect, if you don't know it from the get-go, and you get feedback from someone to improve something, you take it personally. That's what I talked about in the beginning. You think it diminishes your self-worth. You're worth less because of that. You need to have distance yourself from who you are, right? Your personality, and from who you really are. You are limitless potential. You're a spiritual being in this physical experience, right? You can become anything you want. You're not attached to this current personality. Your value is not defined by who you are right now. You literally have the power to become anyone, anything you want. And I don't mean, you become from, if you're 160, you become 2 meters, of course, like within reason. But your desires, the things that you want, are there for a reason, right? We all have our unique desires, and where are these desires even coming from? They're unique to us. So I believe if you have a desire, if you have a dream, it's there for you. It means that you can actually achieve it, right? I believe that the universe gives you every desire and every dream that you can handle and achieve. The universe doesn't give you anything that you cannot handle or achieve, right? So they are there for a reason, and they are individual to us. So forgive yourself, be kind to yourself, and show up every day as good as you can, step by step, and soon you will be at a different place. Also, in the end, nobody forces you to learn business and sales. Nobody requires you making a living from your art. It's all about what do you really want. And that applies to everything. The question in the end of the day, nobody forces you to anything. You are deciding every single day, every moment, what you're going to do. Nobody is forcing you to be in a certain job. Nobody is forcing you to be with certain people. You make the decision. You have control over yourself, how you see the world, what you think, how you feel, and the decisions you make. Nobody else. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's holding a gun and saying like you have to learn sales and business. You have to get to this job. You know, whatever it is. Nobody. Okay, so it's extremely important to realize that you have the choice, and it's always like, what do you truly want? Do you want to learn sales and business? Do you want to make money from your art, or maybe not? It's completely fine. Nobody's forcing you to anything. What do you want, right? Even no matter what it is, no matter what you want to learn, do you really want that? What is it that you want? Who do you want to become? That's why the vision is so extremely important. You have to define it. You have to get clarity on it. And then your actions will make more sense. They are more intentional. If you want to manifest anything just like Joe Vitale and become a top 1% manifester, book a free call with me by clicking the first link in the description. See you there. So what does this have to do with Joe Vitale? In this interview, we talked about his journey, right? He started before the internet. He started reading books, and that's how he changed his life, and it took time. He went from homeless to a multimillionaire by changing the way he thinks. And not just that, by changing the way he thinks about certain things, he started taking different action. And how do you write 90 books? By taking action. You actually have to sit down and write the books. And that's what changed his life. And he followed his passion, his interest, right? He wanted to write books. Nobody forced him to. He decided, what do I want? I want to be an author. I want to write books. And then he faced his fears. We also talked about that. He couldn't market his first book. He didn't know how to market that. Nobody wanted to read it. So then someone told him that he needs to go on speaking events. He needs to speak and talk about his book, inspire people. Maybe some people then want to buy the book after his speech. He was extremely frightened. He was extremely shy. He needed to overcome this fear, and he did. And now look at him. All from actually taking action and overcoming your fears. Again, there is no magic pill. He just did the work. And every single time when he does something new, he started so many new things, not just writing the book. It's also like suddenly he became a musician from having no idea, no talent. How did he do 15 CDs? By actually showing up, right? And of course, do you believe he's just going into the studio and feeling good about himself? He has probably doubt about his talent and his ability to even become a good singer or musician. But anyways, he wanted it, so he showed up every single day. A few years later, he has 15 CDs. So what it showed me and what it taught me, the main thing, I learned many things from this interview, and I put the link below so you can watch the interview as well. But the main thing I learned is there is no shortcut to success. You have to do, you have to take action, you have to show up every single day. That's literally it. And whenever you start something new, you will start as a beginner. You will start as a student that doesn't know anything about it. And Joe Vitale even said, I don't know what I don't know. Or he said, I think, I know how little I know. And that's something I already learned from other mentors. They said that the most successful people are extremely humble because they know how little they know. They know that they don't know what they don't know. They know a lot, but they also know that there's so much more to know. So they are not so attached to their ego, right? Usually people that are not so successful, they are so attached to what they know. As I said, they defend their kind of character, their current knowledge, and they cannot take feedback. But this kind of mindset and behavior is holding you back. Because someone like Joe Vitale, do you think, I mean, he's a multimillionaire, he goes to the MMA class, do you think he will be good at it? No, of course not, right? And he probably will get a lot of feedback from his teacher to what he should improve. Do you think he will just go and say, no, what are you telling me? I'm a multimillionaire. I know how to do that. Of course not. He doesn't know. But so many of us, we go through life, and whenever there's something new to learn, especially if it feels personal to us, like business and, let's say business, sales, dating, these are things that feel extremely personal to us. And I think we define a lot of self-worth through these things. That when we get feedback of what we could improve, we feel hurt and we defend ourselves. We feel like our self-value and worth just went down, but literally has nothing to do with that. Because everything is a skill, you can learn everything. But whenever you want to learn something new, you have to start at the beginning. So watch the video, let me know what you think from this interview with Joe Vitale, and let me know what you think is the secret of his success and the secret of success in general, right? Am I right or am I off? Tell me in the comments. Hope this video helps, and I'll see you in the next one.